and welcome. You're watching Ask Profit, a show that solves all your stock-related queries. My name is Puneet Zaveri. With me is Mahima Vachrajani.
But with that, let's also welcome in our guest for the day, Avinash, Gorakshakar, founder and head of research at Avinash Mentor. And a very good morning to the both of you. The first question that we have is from Sarma, who's writing us from Hyderabad. Got around 740 odd shares of Suzlon at the levels of 40. Wants to know if she can accumulate more at the current levels and what are the fundamentals for the next 2 odd years. Avinash, a very good morning to you. I'll come to you on this one. Your view on Suzlon?
Yeah, I think, if the investor can hold on for the next, 12 to 18 months, I think definitely the stock has corrected significantly. And, the best part is Suzlon is sitting on a record order book. Government policy is also now getting more favorable on wind energy. And I think looking at the kind of turnaround, if the investor can have the time frame of 12 to 18 months, definitely one can add more. But I think you need to stay invested here for a long period because clearly in terms of the equity capital structure, the company will have to generate a decent ROE and a decent earnings growth to actually ensure that some re-rating happens. So I would say that, at these levels, slowly you can accumulate, but take a time frame of 12 to 18 months and stay invested.
Got that view, Avinash. And so the next question also largely, Avinash, coming to you because Ajay from Bengaluru is asking a short-term view on the FMCG index. So let me welcome in Amardev Singh as well. Amar, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. Well, that was the management of Bharat Coking Coal. But Avinash, very quickly coming to you because, it's a stock that was very cheap at its IPO. So I'm sure that not a lot of people got lucky given the high subscription numbers. What should they watch out for according to you from post-listing? Because since it's just listed today, not a view, but anything that according to you investors can watch out for?
No, I think clearly, the stock is opened. I think the stock was available at 23 at the IPO. The listing prices, I believe around 45 rupees.
Yeah.
So I think it's better to wait for some time because, typically in these kind of companies, what we find is that, probably if Coal India starts moving, then Bharat Coking Coal will also, get a kicker. My sense is longer term, money can be made, but I think you need to be careful. Let the first quarter numbers come out, the management commentary come out. Since this is a regulated business, I would say that it's better to wait for at least a quarter performance and then take a fresh call if one were to invest from the secondary market.
Right. Got 6 shares of Netweb Technology at an average price of 3,555. Wants to know if she can stay invested or exit. Avinash, I'll come to you on this one, especially because Q3 has been, a record quarter for them. Good growth in terms of where the sales also stand. But overall, what's the view like and if she can continue to hold the counter?
No, I think my sense is that, with such a strong performance in quarter 3, I would not be surprised that, the quarter 4 also should be equally strong. And I think they operate in a space where they have a decent amount of niche. So, the segment in which they're operating is also growing rapidly. So I would say that, if the investor can hold on for the next, say, 12-15 months, it's better to hold because further risk, the risk reward could be better. So I think rather than booking profits early, this is a stock where I think the sector is also doing well. And I think earnings trajectory should be decent at least for the next couple of quarters.
Got the view, Avinash. The next caller that's coming in is from Bengaluru and Amit has a stock query for us. Amit, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Very happy morning to all the experts present. I wanted to ask about Wipro. Seeing recent fall of 7%. Is it a good time for entry?
Well, Amit, do you have any other IT name in your portfolio right now? Apart, as I can see that you want to enter Wipro, but any other that you have already in your portfolio right now?
Yeah, I have Infosys with me.
Infosys. And is it a considerable part of your portfolio? Is it more than 10%?
Yes, Infosys is approximately 20% of my portfolio.
20%, got it. Avinash, let me come to you. Very disappointing set of numbers from Wipro. The guidance also is missed street estimates for quarter 4. Would you advise Amit to buy into Wipro right now at 243, considering he already has 1/5 of his portfolio in Infosys, and any view if you have on that aspect as well?
No, I think, within the IT pack, Wipro has been an underperformer. Even their guidance has been not encouraging. So I wouldn't suggest any fresh buying at these levels. As far as the IT pack is concerned, I think companies like TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech, I think these have definitely given good positive commentary. Numbers have also been slightly better and in line. So clearly, Wipro is a clear avoid. But I think if he wants to add more, he could look at Infosys.
That's the view coming in on the IT pack. The next question that we have is on HPL Engineering. The person wants to know if this is the right time to make an entry from a long-term perspective. Avinash, I'll come to you on this one. Your view?
Yeah, I think, see, if you look at HBL Engineering, the bigger trigger for the company is the Kavach order. And I think they have been one of the early vendors to get a contract from the Indian Railways. So my sense is that if the investor can hold on for the next 12 to 18 months, definitely good amount of growth could kick in. I think they also cater to the defense and the aerospace sector. It's a good, business, but I think one has to clearly realize that from upper level, the stock has corrected. So maybe if you buy now, you need to stay invested for the next 12 to 18 months.
Definitely a key stock that has been in focus because of the Kavach orders amongst others. You saw a sharp move on a couple of key names, but then the cool off has happened on the space in general. So HBL, they're definitely one. Kernex has been done very well in the last few months. Let's look at the 1 week chart for Kernex. The huge 2,400 crore order has done very well for its investors. So it's up 20% in the last 1 week. But another caller now dialing in from Jaipur, and Yogesh has a stock query for us. Yogesh, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit.
Good morning.
Go ahead with your query.
Yeah. My query is for Avinash.
Yes.
Yeah, but I have a PNB
Uh-huh.
6,000 shares and 51 average price.
Yogesh, when did you buy into this counter? Because at 51, stock's trading at 133, you're sitting at a considerable profit.
I buy him 2021, 2022.
Well, Yogesh, firstly, many congratulations on spotting PNB at a time where there was a lot of uncertainty. Definitely a good one. Let me go across to Avinash then. Avinash, Yogesh definitely spotted PNB at that time, bought 6,000 shares at 51. So he's almost sitting at a profit of 5 lakh rupees. What is your view for him for PNB? Should he sell out a little bit, book some profits? What would you recommend?
No, I think Puneet, he should sell out because he entered at the right price and now he's made almost 2.5 to 3 times, capital gains. So I think, prudence suggests that at least 25 to 30% if he can book out, he can make his capital free. And the rest can be, held on because I believe that PSU banks are going to make a strong comeback in the financial year 27. More importantly, the third quarter also should be reasonably good. So my sense is that at least some part of profit booking is essential because, that's the way he can rotate his capital and he can obviously get his capital free. So I think longer term prospects for PNB definitely look good, but some profit advisable.
As well as our guest, it's time for the first round of the rapid fire in this edition of Ask Profit. Amar as well as Avinash request you to keep your answers on buy, sell and hold so that we can take as many queries as possible in the next 3 minutes. The first question is coming in on Shakti Pumps and Muralidharan is actually holding 200 shares at 745. Avinash, should he continue to do so?
Yeah, I think continue to hold.
Tilaknagar Industries, Avinash, is it a good time to enter is what Pankaj is asking.
Yeah, I think for the next 12 to 18 months, if one were to look at it, I think one can definitely average at current levels.
Okay.
Satya, again, Avinash, he's actually looking to enter the alcohol space. So we did speak about Tilaknagar. He's purchased ABDL, Allied Blenders. Would you recommend him to hold?
Yeah, I think if he can hold on for the longer term, he can definitely look at investing here.
Okay, one is on MCX, bought at the levels of 1570. Should I book profits or hold on? The viewer is asking this. Avinash, your view?
No, I think continue to hold.
And of course, standard disclaimer, since we've taken Ambuja, it's part of the Adani Group and so is the channel that you're watching. The next one's Aptus Housing. Is it a good time to buy for the next 12 months, Avinash?
Yeah, I think if you have a time frame of 12 to 15 months, one can definitely add.
It's time to wrap up this first round of the rapid fire in this edition of Ask Profit. A lot more stock queries on the other side. Stay tuned for more. It's again a very interesting one. Force Motors, and over the last 1 year, stock's done phenomenally well for all investors who did catch the bottom or even the middle for the stock. Dr. Ellen Ratan Parkhe is actually asking if it's a good time to invest now for the long term. So stock's up 225% in the last 1 year. Let me come to you first, and Ajit, I'll come to you also for a stock view on Force Motors. Avinash, stock's done very well for investors. Is it a good time to enter right now, given the momentum that the company has shown in earnings over the last 2 to 3 quarters?
Yeah, Puneet, I think the stock is definitely pricey, but if you follow an SIP approach, I think the company has shown very strong volume growth data, and I think looking at the kind of tailwinds in the automotive sector, plus post motor also makes tractors, some agriculture equipment. So I think clearly this year, that is the second half of this financial year, as well as for the coming year, hopefully the trend in the automotive sector is going to be positive, and that benefit even post motors will get. So my sense is that if you are looking at the next 12 to 18 months, I think it's worthwhile to do a small SIP and gradually get into the stock. We could see a decent upside even from the current levels.
Jerry Lobo is writing us from Pune. His question is to whether go ahead and buy ITC hotels or Lemon Tree hotels at this point of time for the next 2 years. Avinash, what would you recommend?
So I think my choice would be Lemon Tree because recently there has been some restructuring announced by the Lemon Tree management. My sense is that if one were to take the next 2 years, then I think Lemon Tree is likely to become an asset light business. The entire business is going to be shifted to one of their subsidiaries, and the subsidiaries also will be listed. So I think some restructuring has been announced, but I think if you have a longer term call, I think Lemon Tree can fit the bill better.
Got the view, Avinash. But we have another caller now coming from Bengaluru, and Raksha has a stock query for us. Raksha, very good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Good morning.
Good morning, Raksha. Go ahead.
So my query is on Motherson Samvardhana. I bought around 400 shares at around 119.18.
Okay.
So I wanted to know if I have to, if I can hold it or sell it off.
And Raksha, do you hold any other related auto or auto component company in your portfolio barring Samvardhana Motherson?
No, I just hold Samvardhana. That's it.
Got it. Avinash, Samvardhana at 119, firstly, what would you recommend? Because there are, the next 5-year growth plan is quite ambitious going into non-auto verticals. But any long-term view for Raksha for Samvardhana?
No, I think she should hold on because the automotive sector is showing a strong tailwind, and I think Samvardhana Motherson caters largely to the passenger car sector. I think looking at the kind of tailwinds in the passenger car sector, our sense is that next 6 to 12 months could be quite rewarding for the sector, and large vendors like Samvardhana definitely should benefit. So I think maybe in the short term, the stock will remain volatile, but we are hopeful that Q3 should be a good quarter, and I think 27 should be a lot better. So I think if you can stay invested for the next 12-15 months, I think it's a hold from our side. Structurally, the company should do very well. I think targets will be very ambitious, but at least for the next couple of years, I think growth looks to be quite solid and steady.
So you're coming in on Samvardhana. Surya is calling us from Karnataka. Surya, hi. A very good morning to you. I believe you have a question on JSW Infra.
Yeah, hi, good morning to you all. The question is on DSW infrastructure. I would like to know the long-term perspective on this stock, considering the geopolitical, policy changes and all.
Okay, all right. Got your question. I'll take this up with Avinash. Then Avinash, the stock is zooming in trade today on the back of its earnings, of course, that came on Friday post-market hours. But overall, your view with regards to this counter and whether you can continue to hold from a long-term perspective or not?
Yeah, definitely. I think the stock is a good long-term kind of counter, and I think the investor should not be worried. Typically these kind of stocks take time to generate a decent alpha, but I think looking at the numbers presented by the company last week, I think clearly the company is on the growth track, and I think this business is bound to grow. Whether when the economy grows, you're going to see business for JSW Infra also increasing. So I think keep a time frame of 12-18 months. I think this is a kind of a stock which can give a very good alpha, provided you stay invested in it for the longer term.
Got the view, Avinash.
Dheeraj is calling us from Hyderabad. Dheeraj, hi. A very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning, ma'am. My query is regarding I have 6 lakhs of capital, ma'am. I would like to get 2 long-term and 2 short-term stocks which are trading at attractive valuations where I can see a decent upside, ma'am. It can be large cap or mid cap or small cap. Anything is fine, ma'am.
What is your
2
time period?
2 long-term and 2 short-term stocks.
2 long-term and 2 short-term. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got your question.
For 2 long-term for 1 year, ma'am, more than 1 year, and for 2 short-term, below 3 months, ma'am.
Okay, got your question, Dheeraj. I'll ask your view with regards to where 2 stocks that you're looking at from a 1 to 1.5 year point of view.
I think he could look at Indian hotels. I think from the large cap space, this is the largest hotel player. And I think we believe that October to March, as well as the next year, should be decent for the hospitality sector. And the second stock could be an auto component player called Shriram Piston and Rings. I think has been beaten down recently, but fundamentals remain to be quite strong. So here also, I think he could look at levels of 33, 3400.
We're getting so many queries today on the auto pack. The next one's coming in on Tenneco Clean Air Solutions for the next 2 years is what the question is. Avinash, it's a recent listing, but global parentage as well as, from the issue price also, I think it's done very well. Would you recommend, Vanita, who is also a regular viewer, to continue holding or get into the stock right now as she's asking?
No, I think if the investor can hold on, Puneet, for the next 2 years, this is a business which has got a very high entry barrier. MNC Tenneco holds a majority stake here, and recently they made an IPO which was purely an OFS. So, the company continues to be debt free, cash flows are good. So, I think, if you can give in for the next 2 years, this definitely can make a lot of money. And I think, investors should understand that we'll probably get to know the first quarter numbers, in this quarter 3 from the company post the IPO. So after that, there will be some interaction with the analyst, with the company would be disclosing its growth plans and management commentary. So after that, I think you could see a gradual amount of re-rating on the stock. So I think if somebody has a 2-year time frame, definitely one can, start nibbling at the current level.
Okay, all right. So that's you coming in on Tenneco Clean Air. The next question that we have is from Jinson, who's writing us from Kochi. He's saying that he's holding around 300 shares of Eternal and wants to know as to why the PE ratio is so high for the counter. I think, Avinash, a lot of people have this question for every new age tech platform that's getting listed left, right and center. But your view in terms of where the long term view is, where Eternal stands?
No, I think clearly, I think, in these kind of companies, it's not the P multiple, but the narrative which plays out. And I think the total addressable market is something which you need to understand how quickly Zomato or Swiggy have become essential, in our daily lives. So I think, as of now, the company still is in a growth phase. So I think looking at the company purely from a P multiple basis may not be the right way. But yes, I think if you're looking at the next, say, 2 to 3 years, I think definitely Zomato is on its way to become profitable. And I think despite the 10 minutes ban, I think life is not going to change for these players. So I think long term, definitely a good amount of value could get created.
Got the view, Avinash. But an interesting caller coming in from Bengaluru. Raghvendra has a stock query for us. Raghvendran, good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Hi, good morning. This is Raghavendran from Bangalore. I do hold 49,000 Vodafone shares in the price average of 11.23.
Okay.
And around 29,000 last what I have today. So what I wanted to know is, shall I hold or sell?
Raghvendra, firstly, when did you start buying into it? Has it been a cluster approach that you've been accumulating these are multiple levels, and how long have you been holding the stock? Raghvendra, can you hear me? I think
Sorry, come again?
No, I was just asking you, Raghvendra, how long have you been holding this? Because 49,000 shares, it's almost a 5 lakh rupee position, one stock. How long have you been holding this counter, and how big is it in your portfolio right now?
I bought it last week.
Last week.
Just,
and how much is it of your portfolio? Is it 1/5? How much of this one position is of your portfolio right now?
Kind of almost 98% of my capital I just parked in this Vodafone.
Got it. Firstly, Raghvendra, I would advise you to diversify, but let me go across to Avinash for a quick view. Firstly, on Vodafone, Avinash, and it's a big chunk of his portfolio. How should he start off his investment journey in terms of diversifying?
I think clearly, Puneet, putting 98% of your capital in one company is definitely not advisable. I think, at best 5 to 6% is what we would advise. So have a slightly higher kind of degree of diversification. And more importantly, try to get into large cap names, profitable names. Vodafone is a loss-making company. And despite the fact that they got some relief from the government of the AGR dues, I would suggest that, as of now, I think, any rise in the stock, if you can get, try to reduce his positions and, get invested into some stocks like IDFC First or maybe a federal bank or typically even a large cap bank like ICICI Bank, where I think decent returns could be made. At the same time, capital is protected. So I think this is a very high risk strategy, which I think the investor should avoid.
Okay, all right. So that's you coming in on Vodafone. The question that we have is from Piyusha, who's writing us from Jaipur, asking about ICICI Bank. She's holding 100 shares at the levels of 1400. Wants to know from a long-term perspective, can she continue to hold, average, or exit at the current levels? Avinash, your view, considering the earnings, there was a miss in terms of where the profit estimates are concerned, but overall net interest margin was stable sequentially. How did you read the numbers and whether she can continue to hold this from a long-term perspective?
No, I think she can continue to hold from a long-term perspective, although numbers for Q3 were slightly disappointing. We saw a very big spike in the provisioning number. But I think some of these were one-off, and I think Q4 seems to be on track. So I think, clearly if the investor has a medium to long-term time frame in mind, then I think continue to hold.
Have you, Avinash?
He's looking to park around 10 lakh rupees of his retirement fund in the hotel sector is what he's saying, and this is from a very long-term perspective. So Avinash, you already mentioned IHCL, but any other counter that you would want to recommend? Sanjay, and if, because he's not mentioned, as to what percentage of his portfolio is this 10 lakh rupees, would you recommend diversifying this 10 lakhs into other sectors? And if yes, what would those stocks be?
No, I think apart from Indian hotels, he could also look at putting some money in Lemon Tree. And plus, I think if he wants to diversify, he should look at autos, he should look at private sector as well as PSU banks. I think this could definitely offer him a decent alpha. At the same time, since he's a long-term investor, I think good value can be bet.
Got the view, Avinash. The next question actually is coming from Karthik from Bengaluru. Karthik, good morning. Welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Yeah, good morning. I want to check with regard to the top sectors which could be benefited from the budget 2026 and which are the top 3 picks where I can invest.
Well, it's an interesting question, Karthik. Nonetheless, let me go across to Avinash. Avinash, actually sectors to invest considering budget 2026 and your top 3 picks. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, Avinash, and remove autos from that list because the GST boost has been largely done. Any other apart from that you're watching out for?
No, I think clearly, from the FMCG pack also, I think probably one could see consumption getting a boost. So I think, stocks like Marico or maybe Dabur, these could be good bets. Plus the usual, sectors like railway, defense. I think clearly railways, Jupiter Wagons is looking interesting. It's been beaten down, but I think if the government announces a fresh wagon kind of order, then I think companies like Jupiter Wagons could definitely benefit. And I think clearly, from the capital goods space, even companies like Larsen & Toubro could be accumulated. I think this is one company which has got a mix of infra, capital goods, defense. So here also, I think the investor could take a bet here.
Okay, all right. So that's you coming in on some of these names. But time for our second rapid fire round. Avinash and Ajit, both know the drill. Try to keep your answers as short as possible.
PS mine, Avinash, Anudeep actually bought at 997. So over a 50% loss. Should you continue to hold?
Yeah, I think if you have the next 2 years and do a little bit of averaging, I think then better to hold.
This one that we're getting is on Sagility. 51 rupees is what he's bought at, holding 155 shares. Continue to hold for the long term, Avinash?
Yeah, I think continue to hold.
Okay, the next one is on Marksans Pharma. Can I add at the current levels? Sankar Narayan wants to know because he's a long-term investor. So Avinash, your view on this?
Yeah, I think he can continue to hold.
KEC International bought at 700 by Amit. Should he continue to hold for the next 1 year, Avinash?
Yeah, I think KEC definitely looks interesting. I think very strong order book, so continue to hold.
So our Animesh actually bought at 5,710 shares. Should he average down right now?
Yeah, I think he should. I think if he can hold on for the next, say, 12 to 15 months, a good time to average and hold on.
It says, Avinash, should he continue to enter right now?
Yeah, I think if he's got a long-term hold, time frame, say around 12 to 18 months, he can definitely add.
Okay, KPR Mills is the next one. Surendra from Bengaluru wants to know if he can continue to hold the counter. Avinash, your view?
Yeah, continue to hold.
Reliance at 1,523. Avinash, Siva is holding from Toronto. Any view?
Yeah, I think he should hold on. I think, take a time frame of at least the next 12 to 15 months. I think the stock should bounce back.
Well, that's the end of the second round of the rapid fire as well as this edition of Ask Profit. Ajit as well as Avinash, thank you so much for helping us solve 53 related stock queries today.